we're going to do a deep dive talking about high income, how to find the deals, the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to serviced accommodation. Now, if you are new to this channel, make sure you smash the subscribe button. Also, if you can just hit the like button, because that will help the algorithm. And of course, stay tuned for more videos to come. Wow, I am super excited today. I am here with Ross Mallalieu in the studio, my amazing business partner known as AKA the Agent Whisperer. He has literally sourced thousands of property deals, and we are going to be talking about high cash flowing assets and all things serviced accommodation. Ross, my man, good to have you down, mate. I know you've been traveling through the night. We actually have your Serviced Accommodation Academy Mastermind Day on at the moment. We've had loads of interest recently, emails, text messages, DMs, people turning up to our events, all wanting to know about this creative property strategy, serviced accommodation, and it is the UK's fastest growing property strategy right now. So let's get straight into it. Thanks for giving us your time. What the bloody hell is serviced accommodation?
Let me explain, not the War and Peace version, let me give you a short version. So, serviced accommodation is providing an alternative to a hotel or an B&B to two specific markets. One is leisure stays, the other is corporate clients. So it's providing an alternative to a hotel or a B&B on a night-by-night basis.
All right, so is that rent to rent then, or is rent to rent something different? So if you could, I know a lot of people get confused between serviced accommodation, rent to rent, HMOs. So when you hear the word rent to rent serviced accommodation, what the hell does that mean? Yeah,
so look, to be clear, serviced accommodation can be done from an asset that you own, or it can be done via an asset you control. An asset you own is more traditional investing, an asset you control is more rent to rent, which is literally controlling the asset and making money from that asset during the term of liability.
Okay, so where do you find these deals?
So for me, there's lots of different places where you can find these deals. You can approach landlords, you can approach letting agents, you can approach developers. There's multiple avenues for you to explore to get these deals.
So if you're doing the rent to rent model, in essence, you are renting a unit from an existing landlord or developer. They're then allowing you to use that as a multi-let or serviced accommodation. Do you then pay that landlord the rent that they would say normally get as a single let?
Yeah, so very similar to a traditional tenant they're used to, which is somebody that looks after the property and pays the rent on time. Ultimately, that's exactly what we will be. We will be their tenant. We will be liable from the start of the contract to the finish, and we are responsible to maintain that property during the term of that contract. So no different to a traditional tenant, is exactly what we are.
Okay, and you do that in a form of your company with the correct contract. What is the name of that contract? Because I know a lot of people use the wrong contract. What's the name of the contract that needs to be used?
So the most comprehensive agreement we can use that's designed for our purpose is a common law tenancy agreement. That is the most comprehensive agreement we can use.
Okay, and are there one or two things that need to be in that agreement to make it legal?
So with a common law tenancy, it's absolutely fine as is, so there's no alterations needed as long as it's fit for the purpose of rent to rent, which all my contracts are. Now, naturally, you have letting agents who have company let agreements on file. And again, if you were to walk into 1,000 letting agents and demand to use a common law tenancy, I'd probably go as far to say that 10 of those 1,000 would know what you're talking about. So what you're better off doing is trying to use a contract they're familiar with, which is a company let agreement, which is designed for an employer to house their employee. Well, just to be clear, we're not the employer, we're the relocation company. They're not our employee, they're our client. So as long as that can be reflected in the agreement, we're happy to sign. So most comprehensive is common law, most commonly used is a company let agreement with the correct alterations to give us permission to sublet.
Now look, obviously we've gone through, a pandemic. Why is this market so strong right now? Why is that?
So in fairness, even pre-COVID, the market was very, very buoyant, and there is not enough short-term accommodation on a national basis for the demand. So the demand is immense from the leisure stays, demand is immense from corporate clients wanting accommodation, and pre-COVID, the demand was phenomenal. What I've found is since we've come through the COVID period, the demand has increased even further because people are not confident in booking foreign holidays at the moment. Look, I love a trip abroad. I love the sunshine, and as much as I can do that, I will. But unfortunately, due to circumstance, I've been governed to UK-based holidays. As much as I do love the UK, the weather's not usually in sync with that. So naturally, I've been forced into position to look at staycations. So I'm not on my own. There's lots and lots of people out there who just haven't got the confidence, or maybe they're not, jabbed and they don't want to get jabbed. Well, the foreign holidays are not an option to them, which means there is a huge demand for staycation. The leisure demand within this industry right now is crazy. The corporate demand, because I think they're catching up with a lot of work that was put on hold during COVID. If you imagine, you've got influx of contractors coming to site now to catch up. With all that in mind, I've never seen the market so buoyant.
Wow, great. So it's about getting the right property in the right location at the right price, and then obviously getting the right clientele in there. Typically speaking, on a rent-to-rent serviced accommodation, what would you hope to be making net profit after all costs?
So for me, bare minimum, it would be £1,000 net clear, okay? So that's after everything's paid, the rent, expenses, the full works. I'm sat with £1,000 net return. That's what I'm looking at as bare minimum on every single deal I take on. I've got some clients that generate £3,500 net per unit.
Wow, per unit,
per unit, yeah, £3,500. Some beyond the £4,000 mark. But I think it can be dangerous if you start focusing on those headline figures. So I try and keep it realistic. £1,000 net, anything above is a bonus.
Great, good stuff. And anyone looking to get into this, even if they can someone start this part-time alongside their job or business? Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. Like, naturally, more time you can devote to it, the quicker you're going to get the results, the quicker you can change the circumstances around you. However, I've got multiple clients that do this on a part-time basis, where they are full-time in work, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and they do this business in and around what they're doing. Maybe they have like a day where they can work from home, which allows them to focus on the business, or maybe they can move the shifts around from day to day to give time to focus on the business. But yeah, you can do this whether you're in a full-time job, part-time job, or if you are literally all in and ready to go. It's up to you.
So this really is a great way for, if there's people tuning into this that are maybe not earning enough money, in some bad debt, they are in the rat race, they are working a lot of hours. Would this be a great strategy to start as an income replacement, to try and replace income?
Without a shadow of a doubt, because again, sometimes it's tricky. You've got commitments, whether it's, for kids or mortgages or cars or loans or whatever it may be. So naturally, to have some kind of income to support your journey into property, I feel is always beneficial. Unless you've got a pot there that you don't need to rely on an income to support you, then that's a different scenario altogether. But I always find that whether it's a part-time job or a full-time job that you're carrying out, it's actually going to help you massively building that business in the initial stages.
Right. So let's say someone's coming into this either full-time or part-time. They want to get their head into serviced accommodation. They want to generate more cash flow, provide better for their family, get out the rat race, or just even do it as a bit of a hobby, part-time, as a second income stream. Maybe it's the holiday fund or the Christmas fund, or just to take away the stress. In your experience, having done this for 13 years now, how many deals could somebody get in their first 12 months?
To be honest, I've got clients that struggle to get that first deal in the first 12 months. I've got other clients that take on 20, 30 deals in that first 12 months. It can vary. I've got probably the biggest success that I've had to date in such a short period, that a client did 115 inside a 12-month period.
115?
Yeah, in a 12-month period. And to be honest, it actually...
Was that a block of flats or something?
Yeah, there is, in fairness, there's 107 in one block.
Okay, right.
And the rest are, scattered around the area. But yeah, 115 deals from the point I trained them to the point where they're now on at that level.
Okay, so let's forget the 115 deals or whatever.
Yeah, please do.
Said.
Yeah,
let's
please
forget
do.
that one. But let's say the difference from, say, someone doing one deal and someone doing, say, let's even say 15 deals in the first year. What's the difference between that? Why has this person only got one, and why do these people go and get, say, 10 or 15 units? What would you say that is?
I think it could be down to a myriad of different things. I think not any one person starts off at the same position. I think a lot of people going into property get caught up in that, okay? Because at the end of the day, I've not met a single person who has the same amount of time, the same amount of cash, the same skills as anybody else. So to compare to others can be quite dangerous for that reason, that you're not comparing apples to apples. But I believe the difference between somebody who's getting 1 over 12 months or somebody that's getting 115 is their commitment to change the position.
Right.
And again, if you've got some people that are quite comfortable, you know, the idea of change is appealing, but the reality is different. Well, guess what? They're probably going to be sat on one deal over the next 12 months. Yeah, if I've got someone that's hungry, that's really driven, it's got a clear why they're trying to do this, I find those people, it's a matter of how many deals they want to take from their first year in business.
Wow.
It's that simple.
So it comes down to drive, commitment, enthusiasm, obviously support, help, showing up, making the calls, analysing the deals.
Of course.
But when you think about this, man, like, you don't need many of these deals, even at 12 grand each, you don't need many of these to replace income and to live a better quality of life.
100%.
And it's been great. You know, we've been working together now for pretty much 3 years. You know, built an amazing community together. You know, you head up the Serviced Accommodation Bootcamp, which is our 3-day advanced training. We've got the Serviced Accommodation Academy, which is anywhere up to a 12-month mentoring and mastermind program. You offer your on-patch service, where you'll actually take, what is on-patch? But a lot of people ask us about that.
Yeah, so let me give you an insight into on-patch. One of the things that I came across very early as I got into this business was so many people were attending courses left, right and centre, up and down the country, and I identified quite quickly a real common problem across the board. And I would go as far to say that 5 to 10% of people can receive that information in the classroom, take that information, put it into action and go out and get results. I'd probably 10%, probably a bit of a push, maybe 5% of people would take that information and physically do something with it. So what I saw as a problem within the industry, I thought a very easy solution is to practically show people how. And I believe that was the big thing that was missing right across the training industry. Lots of people can take that information, try and put it into practice and can't, but more and more people I found, once they've been shown how, it's very easy then for them to rinse and repeat that process.
Right.
So exactly, on patch is physically showing you the proven methods that have, you know, helped me generate thousands of deals up and down the UK, and it's physically doing it for you, so then you can see how it's done, rinse and repeat that process.
So your client you'll go to their area.
Correct.
Take them round all the agents and basically help them get that first 1, 2, 3 deals over the line.
Yeah, I think what's key for the on-patch is I'm going in and building the pipeline of opportunities for you to facilitate. One of the main roles for you to carry out thereafter is to maintain the relationships that I set up. Yeah. I'm going to be kicking open the doors, you just need to make sure it stays ajar.
Awesome. Well, you know what, mate, it's lovely having you on the show
Thank
today.
you.
You know, well done for all your hard work, all your effort, the hundreds and hundreds of people that you've helped go and get amazing results, life-changing income as a result of this creative strategy. So would it be fair to say that this is a good time to get involved with this market?
Don't hesitate is my best advice. Right. Otherwise you'll miss the boat. Now look, do I see this market changing, you know, being less buoyant over the coming years? Not really, but you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So while the iron is hot, strike now.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. Yeah, you've got to be in it to win it. And a lot of people, they think too much, they miss opportunity, they talk themselves out of doing something absolutely amazing. And as much as there's a lot to do with serviced accommodation, like any property strategy, like any business, you've got to be in it to win it. And the key thing is just follow the process, follow the steps, get compliant, get set up, work your scripts, go find deals, speak to agents, analyse offers, you know, advertise, rinse and repeat the process.
Yeah, just to be clear, guys, you know, academically, majority of people listening probably run rings around me, okay? So just to be really clear, you don't need to be, you know, a rocket scientist to get anywhere in this business. I barely scraped through at school with a GCSE in English, don't even know I got that. Barely scraped through a C in maths. just to be really, really clear, it doesn't matter how you are academically. It's listening, understanding, adapting, and implement, and it's result thereafter.
Wow, that's freaking amazing, man. Very, very powerful. Well, look, thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Pleasure as always.
We'll obviously be doing lots more of this stuff as well. You know, we love sharing our knowledge and experience with people. So there you have it, the one and only Mr. Ross Mallalieu. What an amazing guy, amazing results, and I'm just so proud of, you know, the team that I have at Assets for Life, the amazing business partners that I have, the results that our graduates are getting. So look, if we can do it, you can do it. If you're new to my channel, smash subscribe, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more videos.